listening to DORiS Radio.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
Today on DORiS, we sit down with Feddi and Feddi Krug. Feddi is a renowned rapper, performer, and label head of Defy The Odds Records, joined by fellow DTO artist Feddi Krug. We had a powerful discussion about growing up in Groove City, losing his father at a young age, and the creation of his latest album, Blindside. They also shared some details on an upcoming Defy The Odds compilation album, and much more.
So Defy The Odds really is like my baby, my child. And I don't merely mean just in the sense of the name of the label. I mean like everything that it means to me and the people that I asked to be a part of it with me. So
You're listening to DORiS Radio.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
DORiS Radio.
DORiS WHCP 101.
What's up, guys? You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP 101.5 FM. I'm your host, Marco Garcia, and I'm excited to be joined today with Feddi
Yeah, man.
And
you already.
That's right, DTO in the building.
DTO in the building.
Repping
Cable
Defy The
City.
Odds. How we doing, fellas?
What's going on, man? Everything is good. What's up, Rube?
We living, man, you know.
Hey, I want to thank you for having us too, man. I wanted to say that on air first and foremost.
That's a
Thank
fact.
you for having
Thank
us.
you guys for being here, man. I'm super excited to have you here. Like I was saying off air, I'm a huge fan of your work, and I'm really excited to get to catch up with you on air today and get to know more about your story and everything that's going into, you know, the music that you've been putting out and giving to us and
For sure.
the world. And, you know, with everything that you got going with Defy The Odds and all the upcoming projects that are going to be happening in the future.
Word. Definitely. A lot to
Dive
get
in.
excited about, man.
Definitely, man. We're going to start by rewinding back to the beginning, and I'm going to have you tell me about some of the music that your parents were playing around the house when you were growing up as a kid.
To be honest, man, when I was a child, I grew up in a single parent home with just me and my mother. So my earliest like remembrances of music, it wasn't even necessarily hardcore hip hop in a sense. It was stuff like Monica and Brandy and Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, SWV, TLC, Escape. You know what I mean? She would have this tape. You know, back in the days when you would really have to catch the stuff coming on the radio and have your tape deck ready to hit record.
So it's mixtapes.
So she had a tape dating all the way back to TLC. What About Your Friends? Remember that song? What About Your Friends?
Come on, man.
And this was your mom
Always
singing this?
standing. Yeah, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
beautiful, man.
So it would start from like that year, but it went all the way up to like TLC, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, you know what I mean? But everything in between, like Faith Evans, Brandy, Monica, Tony Braxton, and she would clean up to this tape. You know what I mean? Like when she would do her Sunday cleaning, vacuum, and
chores
dusting,
music.
that tape would be on, and I would be playing the game. You know, as a little kid or whatever, you're not really paying attention. You a kid, but subliminally, I wasn't really realizing like these melodies, these cadences, these harmonies is like kind of embedding itself in my mind now.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like
that's vocal.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
creating my little flavor or whatever. Now, the hip hop came into play because of my cousins. I used to spend a lot of time at my great grandmother's crib when I was young, growing up for circumstantial reasons or whatever.
R.P. to Nana.
R.P. to Nana, man. Rugen, no. But I was there with my cousins Germ and Tweak, and that's where the hip hop came in. That was Ice-T, NWA, Gangstar, Wu-Tang Clan, Tupac, Nas. I mean, name something.
Word.
Death Row, you know what I mean?
Yes.
They didn't.
Death Row coming back.
Right, they are though. I seen that on the social medias or whatever. I see they trying to do something, but they didn't necessarily discriminate. Like if it was hot and it related to the life they was living, they was with it. So that's when I started to get introduced to that. You know what I'm saying? Other than those two like raw forms of like, being exposed to music, my Uncle Howard was probably like one of the few, if not the only positive male influence I had as a youngin'. And he was a music major. So he would always
Uncle Howard.
Uncle Howard was, man, that's my guy, man. The prototype of what a man was supposed to be, man. You know, I went to work every day, worked I don't know how many years before he retired, raised his kids, never had no felonies, never been in or out of jail, like a straightforward dude, a solid man. You know what I'm saying? Was real big on principles, foundation, integrity, just right and wrong. But Unc was a music major, so Unc could play every instrument from trumpets to guitars to pianos, you know what I mean? So when I would be with him, it's just like I never got away from some type of music at all.
Didn't he teach you how to play the piano, right?
When he taught me how to play the guitar a little bit. I ain't like Jess. Jess really know how to play it. But he was the one who sparked me to want to learn how to play the saxophone. Like, I'm a saxophonist to this day.
Word.
You know what I mean? I'm nice though. Like, I ain't just I can read music, blues, jazz. Rug, remember when I was in band? Like this is all real. I was in band. Like, all my homeboys like, bro, why you in band? It's like, that's kind of corny. And I'm like, keep it real. Like, I already knew what it came with, and a part of me didn't want to be in it, but the music side of me was just like, bro, you know you really want to learn how to read music. You feel the saxophone. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, who cares what they think? Go learn how to play the saxophone, then quit. And that's what I did. You know what I mean? But to this day, I'm a saxophonist, man. Because of Uncle Howard, if I could put it on something directly, because of my exposure to him and everything that he was doing with music.
Word.
Yeah.
So, learning guitar from your uncle, and then that led into expanding your instruments to saxophone, and then taking it up in band. What age did this happen?
I started banding, like, man, it started as early as like 3 or 4 years old, but I picked up band when I was actually in the 5th grade. Yeah.
Dang, man.
I picked up band in 5th grade right before I went to middle school. And I stopped at like my junior year of high school.
What was that? So at that time, you know, like, I guess 5th grade, that's mad young, but like, what was life like for you outside of that? What were you doing for fun at that time?
Running with him, playing basketball, probably meeting up at South Pine, you know what I mean?
Getting
in trouble, you know what I mean? Just regular kid stuff, man. Never nothing too serious, just being a kid, rapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
Watching battle rap, you know?
So when did that start? When did you start getting into like writing your music and writing your raps and stuff?
When I was growing up, my pops was shot and killed. So without going through a whole long drawn out story, I started writing just in terms of being able to express myself. Not even really music or rap lyrics. Just writing because I didn't feel like nobody was really going to understand where I was coming from. I was raised by women. Y'all not men. Y'all can't teach me how to be a man. I'm starting to disagree with y'all's opinions. You know what I'm saying? I still feel the way I feel inside. Tweaking Germ, locked up, Unc at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, who I'm going to talk to? So I started to talk to the paper. I'm going to tell you when hip-hop really, when I really, really knew, like, yo, I'm either a rapper or I want to be a rapper or this what I'm going to do. Wu-Tang Clan Triumph came on Rap City one morning when my grandmother was getting me ready for school. The whole video. And up to that point, like, I always knew rap and hip-hop and I liked it, but I had never been more captivated by something that I was seeing in my life in that moment when I was watching that video. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the visual imagery of their creation, like the words they were saying, the beat, the way that the cadences, like everything was just grabbing me in that moment. Like, yo, it's something about what I'm watching right now that's just, I know for a fact in my mind, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I was like, that was 97. I was 8. I was 8.
That's major.
That's
man.
real though.
And that's something that you are doing. You know, you said something earlier that stood out to me about your cousin's taste of music. You said if it was hot and it related to something in their life, then they were down with it. And I see you doing that. You talked about you know, putting your own feelings of the things that happen in your life into your music. Tell me about what that is like for you now, what that process looks like for you, you know, as far as your self-expression.
My self-expression, to be honest, man, my music is only self-expression. Like, if I don't live life and go through stuff, whether it's good, bad, questionable, fun, a consequence. Like, if I don't live life, I really don't have nothing to rap about. I'm not one of them rappers that go in there and say, what do I want to make a song about? Let me find some words that relate to that, rhyme them, and now I got a song. Like, no, if I step in the booth, even with the people that I chose, that I handpicked and asked to be a part of my movement, it's like, even with them, what drew me to them is I see a lot of me in them, at least in the artist sense, where it's just like, when we hear your music, we know this is not a song that just came from out of nowhere. Like, this is a real life occurrence. From the gangster songs to the hood songs to the good vibe songs, the educational songs, the songs about women. If my voice is on it, and vice versa for anybody on my label, is coming from a real life experience. It's not something that we saying, oh, let's make up a story.
No rap cap. No rap cap.
Seriously though.
No
and And in the touch on what Kruger just said, it's like it's really no rap cat, but that don't always mean cock your guns and go shoot somebody either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Every day of our life, even if you are a gangster, and I know a lot of real ones, but we're not even gonna get into that. But even if you are a gangster, the hardest gangster in the world, every day of his life is not devoted to him being the toughest guy. He might got a daughter, he got a mother and all that. You know, he's a person at the end of the day. So it's like, when we say no rap cap, we not just talking like our street lyrics or something. We talking like any song that you may hear us on. You know what I mean? This is all honesty.
All facts, word. I don't know how to give it no other way.
It don't come no other way. If we don't have a real life situation, we don't have nothing to rap about. You know what I'm saying? Right? We're not storytellers. We are, but we not people who make up the story to tell. We giving you a story that happened. Whether it was for the good or for the worse, it happened to us. Right, wrong, and different. This happened. You know what I mean?
Something authentic.
Yeah, seriously
That's major, man. And with the Defy the Odds, just even in the name, I love that. I love the message behind that. Tell me about what is the message that you hope to convey with your music that as you're putting it out.
So Defy the Odds really is like my baby, my child. And I don't merely mean just in the sense of the name or the label. I mean like everything that it means to me and the people that I asked to be a part of it with me. So you look at that in the sense of a literal meaning, defy the odds, you know, making something happen that seems unfathomable per se. You know, I look at my situation. How does each of us defy the odds? I was born into a situation where my father was shot and killed when I was 4 months old. My mother at that point in time was going back to school to get a GED and stuff like that. Regardless of how great it panned out for us, everything that I had to go through from that moment when my pop was killed to now, it was a situation where the odds was against me. I'm already in the hood. I'm a black male. My father is not even here for, not even because he don't want to be, because he was shot and killed. So there go the reality of the situation that I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me to actually go to school, graduate college, and get a business degree, and you know, actually start a business and really like put it in play, no matter how big or how small it is. It's like, yo, I defied the odds. This man next to me, he come from a situation that, if you ask me, is a little bit more raw and gutter and worse than mine. You know what I'm saying? This is just honest. You know what I mean? Like, he lost parents at a younger age. You know what I mean?
I lost both my parents before I graduated, before I was 18. My mom died, I was like 9.
Speak on it, bro.
My dad died, I was like 17, turning 18. You know,
so
all I had was my sisters that I had to take care of. You know what I mean?
Right, you was head of household.
Right, I was head of household basically. You know what I mean? Now I'm doing what I gotta do, living life every day. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful wife. You know what I mean? 2 kids, house. So it's like coming from a situation like that. Then you talking to a person that you, not even to put it out there, but you know, we talking to a person who was a victim of gun violence before, like really been on a hospital bed, not knowing if that was his last hours. So he's defied odds that we can't even. It's no way he not defy the odds. You take Just per se. Just to tell you himself, he come from a family in a situation where it's not really, you know, favored per se, but he don't really necessarily got to worry about where his next meal or something is going to come from. But in his sense, he always looks at it like, bro, that's my mom and dad crib. You know what I'm saying? Granted, one day, God forbid, if and when they die, I'm going to inherit it. That's not mine, bro. I'm looking to find something that I can say, when I die, this mine. Like, I'm going to be able to tell my daughter and my son, you know, this what Granny and them did, but this what Daddy just did. You know what I'm saying? This is for y'all. So that right there, you know how many people that would be born in a situation like that who really would just look at life like, yo, I really don't have to do nothing. I have it made. I'm just gonna be. Nah, that's not him. He chooses to defy the odds. How am I not rock with him? CK730, man, he just, you know, he come from a real active situation. You know, without saying too much, he's like, he didn't necessarily have the best circumstances coming up. He's originally from Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Now, but you know, life happens to people. You know what I mean? And I would rather have him on here to tell his own side of the story without getting too deep. But just know that his existence and the fact that he's still breathing just like this man and not in cuffs and stuff, he's defying so many odds that he didn't even choose to have to, you know, want to have to defy. So it's just like the defy the odds imprint in itself is, are you nice? Like, just because you got a story to defy the odds, can you rap? Like, do I like your music? Am I drawn to you? Do I believe in you? Do I see your authenticity? That's what I look for first. Secondly, if I do like that, I promise you, you could be the best rapper in the world right now, and I could feel like we could make millions together. But if I honestly feel like you don't embody or stand for what the message behind my movement is, I'll just accept the fact that we can do good business together, and I would not ask you to be a part of my team because I don't feel as though it fits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to fit in terms of music, artistry, talent, skill, and real life. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you not defy the odds. And that's why I take it so seriously. That's why it's so prestigious to me, because the people that I ask to be a part of it, they hold a value to me that I only recognize because I see it within themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that in everybody. And so, you know, if I ever ask you to be a part of my team, I'm asking in the most humblest way, and I done already did my homework on you. You better believe that, man. For real.
That's a beautiful thing to have, and, you know, having that support within the group, and that's why I want to be able to share you guys' story, you know, because I feel like that's something that when we look at the outcome, as you said on yourself, we're looking at two successes. We're looking at two success stories. It's for people who are maybe looking to try to get to that point. I think it's good to see a positive outcome, a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Like something that basically lets you remind you, like, yo, this can be done.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It's like people look at you and it gives them that hope, gives them that hope and
a sense of motivation, inspiration, and all that.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to
101.
DORiS Radio on
Listening
WHCP.
to DORiS Radio.
DORiS
on
Radio,
WHCP.
WHCP 101.
What is something that you guys would say to your younger selves, knowing what you know now?
Oh man.
Don't think everybody has the same heart as you. Don't feel like just because your intentions is good and everything that you doing, that the people that you in it with got the same good intentions for you back.
Fact. Though.
That's the.
Having
In general, I think I can save my younger self a lot of the stuff that he went through up to this point if I just told him, don't think everybody is as genuine as you.
Right.
Because they not. Sometimes they are. Per se,
Word.
Ruger. Shout out to my homeboy MAR. That's really my little brother. Money always right,
that's
Mar.
right.
You know, you meet a lot of people that's really on that same time as you, but they
Free
few and
Turk.
far between.
Word. Free
You know what I'm
Turk.
s- Yeah, free Turk, man. You already know. Free little bro coming home soon. He walked that down, and I don't care how nobody feel about the love that I got for my brother or why he was in there. I know him. You don't. Straight like that. That's how I feel.
Respect.
Word.
Blessings, y'all. Tell me about our first track.
Our first track is 100 Proof. You know what I'm saying? I like to lead off with 100 Proof. It's one of them like high energy songs. It's it's not the first song of the Blindside album, but it keeps the energy going from the first song of the Blindside album. It's something that if you was at a live performance, you would want to see Feddi the Cannon do 100 Proof, and you would hope Ruger is behind him to amp it up with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real bar heavy, real hip hop, like oriented. You know what I'm saying? Definitely no mumble rap or nothing you gonna dance to. It's gonna take you back to the late 90s, early 2000s rap.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Sweet, man. Let's get into it, y'all.
Let's get into it, man. 100 Proof, man.
Word.
Hey,
to
keep it
DORiS
locked.
Radio.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to
101.
DORiS Radio on
Listening to
WHCP.
DORiS Radio.
DORiS
on
Radio,
WHCP.
WHCP 101.